to Unity in Harlem Sunday services. Today is Sunday, November 26, 2023. Happy holidays to you and your loved ones. This is the last Sunday for the month of November. The theme for this month is Speaking Grace and Gratitude. All of us from Unity in Harlem would like to express our gratitude and appreciation to everyone who has joined us each week for our Sunday services. May each and every one of you be blessed by the grace of God with all that you need and with more than you want. Peace and blessings. Today, Poncé will perform the opening celebration song. Poncé will read the Unity in Harlem affirmation. Carol King will read today's daily word. Reverend Carol Hunt will bless us with a guided meditation and then the Sunday service talk. After the talk, prayer requests, tithes, offerings, and finally the peace song. Marie will now perform the opening celebration song, It Is Well. Marie?
Grander earth has quaked before, moved by the sound of his voice, and the seas that are shaken and stirred can be calmed and broken from my regard. Through it all, my eyes are on you. Through it all, it is well. Through it all, my eyes are on you, and it is well with me. Far be it from me to not believe, even when my eyes can't see, and this mountain that's in front of me will be thrown into the midst of the sea. Through it all, my eyes are on you. Through it all, it is well. Through it all, my eyes are on you, and it is well. It is well. Let go, my soul, and trust in him. The waves and winds still know his name. Let go, my soul, and trust in him. The waves and wind still know his name. The waves and wind still know its name. The waves and wind still know his name. It is well with my soul. It is well soul. Well, let go my soul and trust in, trust in. Oh, I am that I am.
Thank you, Marie. Now the announcements. Join Unity in Harlem after the Sunday service for fellowship by Zoom 698-428-2725, by phone 929-205-6099, passcode 777-7777. The same numbers can also be used to join Tuesday Study Group, Prosperity in You, from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. To join Friday's Unity in Harlem Prayer Circle from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Unity in Harlem's Gospelgram for November 2023 is on Unity in Harlem's Facebook page. Anyone wanting to speak to the minister about a personal matter, please call 646-481-1844. Meditation is every Thursday at noon at Pillars. For the Zoom link, call 212-222-3470. Join Unity in Harlem next week, Sunday, December 3rd, 2023. The talk, Do You Hear What I Hear? Bob Poncé will now read the Unity in Harlem affirmation. Bob?
Isaiah 55 verse 11 says, So shall my word be that goes out from my mouth. It shall not return to me empty, but it shall accomplish that which I purpose, and shall succeed in the thing for which I sent it. Unity affirmations speak to the power of our words, and particularly the power of I am. And so we say this affirmation every Sunday to affirm our divine nature. The words are on the screen, and I invite you to say them with me. I am an abundant, radiating center of God's love and light for peace, healing, and inner truth for all.
Good morning. This is the Daily Word for Sunday, November 26, 2023. Grace. I trust grace is my constant blessing. As an expression of God, I need not ever worry about earning God's approval or favor. Grace is my assurance that I am one with God, an heir to all God is. I know oneness during times of deep spiritual communion, understanding I am fully human and fully divine. Through this awareness, my experience of grace deepens. I understand grace as more than a gift from God and begin to see it as an aspect of my divine inheritance. Grace is not a blessing I need hope for. It is the blessing I can count upon. It is trusting I will have what I need when I need it, that my support will come to me even from the most unlikely channels. Grace is knowing that God is with me and within me throughout my life. For by grace you have been saved through faith, and this is not your own doing. It is the gift of God. Ephesians 2 8. Blessings.
I will be gentle with myself. I'll be gentle with myself. I will hold myself like a newborn baby child. I will be gentle with my heart. I'll be gentle with my heart. I will hold my heart like a newborn baby child. Gentle with myself. I'll be gentle with myself. I will hold myself like a newborn baby child. The Father and I are one. 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 Are one, are one, are one, are one. The Father and I are one. Are one, are one, are one, are one. The Father and I are one. Spirit and I are one. The Spirit and I are one. Are one, are one, are one, are one. The Spirit and I are one. Be gentle with myself. I'll be gentle with myself. I will hold myself like a newborn baby child. Will be gentle with my heart. I'll be gentle with my heart. I will hold my heart like a newborn baby child. The Father and I are one. 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 Are one, are one, are one, are one. The Father and I are one. Are one, are one, are one, are one. The Father and I are one. We live in the light of God. We live in the light of God. Are one, are one, are one with the light. We live in the light of God. The Father and I are one. The Mother and I are one. The nature and I are one. We all are one. Are one. One.
Thank you, Marie. And thank you for Nancy Causey and Carol King for opening our service with enthusiasm and graciousness. Our Thanksgiving weekend continues with today. And so to everyone within my hearing, I know that your weekend was blessed from Thursday and gathering with friends and family. And if you didn't gather with anyone, the thought of Thanksgiving and what it means had to be a part of your thoughts and to be grateful. I am happy to welcome you today to our service and pray that this thought of thanksgiving and giving thanks continues, and that you will be blessed as you listen and think through the words of the song, "The Father and I are one." The Father and I are one, and what that means, and how thankful we are, how privileged we are that the blessings of Spirit within us is the oneness that we live by. And so we continue today with this idea of being thankful, being appreciative, and this huge word of grace. But before I get with the meditation and into the talk, the month of December is here. The idea of Christmas and Hanukkah and Diwali and all the other celebrations that will occur this month is actually here. And so in thinking about that, classes and the prayer circle for Unity in Harlem will be on recess for the month of December. And a note will go out to everyone who might not be listening today. I invite you to just turn the spigot of thoughts off in your brain, off in the sense that you set them aside. Bring your whole countenance, your whole self to this moment now. And let yourself relax into the moment. Do that by following your breathing. The easy rhythm of breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. Let each inhalation and exhalation relax you more. Let that activity of breathing in and breathing out help you to shed whatever activity you think you must do later. Whatever you think you must do tomorrow. Relax into this moment. Breathe in deeply. Exhale slowly. Breathe in deeply. Exhale slowly. Breathing in this time, take inventory of your whole body. Search for those places that might feel uncomfortable, might feel painful, might just feel different. Breathe into those places and relax them. Breathe in and send the breath, saying, relax, relax. Search your body one more time. Your feelings. Your feelings. Did you come to the service in a rush? Do you feel anxious about something in your life now? Are there stresses from day to day? You feel them in your body. Anxiety and stress. Breathe into them. Exhale to them and relax them. Breathe in. Exhale, saying, relax. Be still. Be still. Feel the energy of the breath as you say the words, be still. Breathe in deeply. Exhale slowly. Breathe in deeply. Hold the breath. Hold the breath. One 1,000. 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000, 5 1,000. Exhale slowly. 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000, 5 1,000, 6 1,000, 7 1,000. Again, breathe in deeply, fill your lungs, hold the breath. 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000, 5 1,000. Exhale slowly. 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000, 5 1,000, 6 1,000, 7 1,000. You feel quiet. You feel still. Your feelings are at ease. Your thoughts are quiet and still. And now, think of your oneness in spirit. You are one in the spirit. You are one in the Lord. There is no separation in oneness. There is no separation in oneness. All that you will ever need, all that you will ever want, right here, right now. Divine love undergirds you, carries you forward, blesses you as you open yourself to truly hear and truly listen. Let love flow through you, filling your world with all the good that you can think about and bring forth. Love, your name as spirit. You feel the compassion rise up within you as you see and feel those who are in conflict this day. Send forth your compassion. Let harmony go before you. Let love fill every space around you as only love can, and those who come within your space is filled with that love. The prospering power of love is here right now. It builds in compassion. It builds in harmonious relationships. It flows forth from you, binding all wounds, closing all separations. Let love be love in you as you. Let love be love in you as you. Love goes before you, making all places straight. Let love be behind you, holding all together in oneness. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Feel the energy of love as it flows through your body. Removing any congestion. And now affirm, I am the love I want to see in this world. I am the love I want to see in this world. Breathe in, breathe out. Feel being refreshed. Feel being quiet and still. Feel being open and receptive. Feel being relaxed and ready. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Let the consciousness of love in you and as you be your blessing for this day. In the name of the way shower, Jesus the Christ. Amen. As Nancy said earlier, today's talk, Grace and Gratitude, Speak It, is our theme for today. And you may be saying to yourself, every Sunday this month, it's been about grace and gratitude. What's with Carol? But today is the last of it. But I would hope that grace and gratitude and speaking it has had the opportunity to grow in consciousness for each of us. I know it has for me. And you will continue to explore the meaning of grace as it relates to gratitude and thanks and appreciation. And that you will be prompted, as Paul put it, to know the real meaning of it and when it happens, and then decide how you will respond. When we do common activities every day, on any given day, we do not think much about it. We do it by some of the things we do by rote. We just know that this is the next thing to do, and we go and we do it. We don't think too much about it. It's a part of our particular way of living our life. And perhaps they have become habitual, but it's our way. And so we don't think much about it. We just go on and do it. It's automatic. We do it without thinking until something happens that causes us to become very aware. So aware that the activity itself becomes the center of our own attention. And so when that activity comes up going forward, it's given a lot of thought. And I'm sure that that has happened to us at certain times in our life, maybe happens right now. And sometimes those activities are changed for us going forward forever. So it is with driving for me. And some of you are aware of it. I always did it with the usual concern and cautiousness, I guess, as most people, but not overly concerned. But now, when I drive, there are certain things that I do and certain things that I did before that I don't do anymore. For instance, I rarely have the radio on anymore. I do not want to be distracted. I definitely do not use my cell phone. And if I'm going somewhere that I'm quite not sure where I'm going, I will definitely have figured it out ahead of time so I don't have a challenge going to that place. I will know the directions. Last Sunday, Unity in Harlem had its in-person gathering at Taranga Restaurant. We have come to really like it there. It's relaxed and we have a bite to eat. But most important, it is the fellowship that we experience, that we love, especially during this time when we are not meeting in person every Sunday. It was a good time had by all, and when I saw that the time was getting to 3:34 p.m., I began to think about getting ready to leave. Now, the reason for that is because right now, around 3:30, 4:30, I know it's going to start getting dark. And I need to travel when it is light. At 4 p.m., the sun was shining brightly. It could have been 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Others began to leave, and I, as the minister, well, it kicked in, and I stayed until everyone had left. It was now getting toward 4:30, and I knew darkness was going to begin to happen. Once I decided how I was going to get to the Triborough Bridge, how I was going to get home, and that took me a little while. I decided, well, I could go this way, I could go that way, whatever. But then I made my decision. It was really beginning to get dark. I told myself, I reassured myself that I probably could get home before it was actually dark. The traffic was very heavy going across the bridge, and the 3 exits to LaGuardia Airport was heavy as well. By now, I had to admit, Carol, it's dark. Because the traffic was heavy, the red tail lights on the cars in front of me became my light. I managed to stay in my lane and follow those lights ahead of me. Once passing LaGuardia airport, the traffic thinned out, but not to the extent that I could had to become concerned. The parkway in front of me filled with plenty of cars. Plus, I had the added drama of an ambulance that had cars going in all directions to get out of its way. The ambulance, wouldn't you know, decided to stay right behind me, blaring. I had to decide to go right or to the left. My sight is better on my left. I moved. The ambulance moved ahead with cars following right after because it was going pretty fast. I thought I would be left behind. No, the space filled with plenty of red lights directly in front of me. By now, I am almost at my exit and concerned with crossing a couple of lanes in time to exit, the exit where I needed to be, with oncoming traffic, which would be to my right. I did. As it turned out, there was so much traffic coming on to the parkway, I just flowed right in and went to my exit. The rest of my trip was a piece of cake. When I arrived home, parked my car, and got in the elevator going to my floor, the words came to me, saved by grace. Saved by grace. That's what happened. The words took on such a deep meaning for me, more than I had already. I was literally saved by grace. Grace in me took over. Truly, I by myself didn't get me home safely. The words I shared during the talk Sunday past about each of us filled with grace when we are born was the source of my safe return. I had to become aware of it and respond by being appreciative and asking myself, how will I say thank you? When we know in the words of the spiritual, this, it was grace that brought me safe thus far, and grace will lead me home. It was grace. My thank you response, in the future, when I know it's time for me to leave, guess what? Carol is going to leave. For it will be grace that goes before me, preparing my way. The Old Testament has about 122 references to grace as mercy, appreciation, graciousness, thankfulness. As the word itself, just the word grace, the Old Testament, about 37 times, not that many. The Old Testament made the idea of righteousness impossible to achieve by any humankind because of the law. The New Testament interpretation of grace created a way for righteousness to be achieved through the words and actions of Jesus the Christ. He is the example. And Paul, making this profound contribution about grace. And the law had endemic in it that we are inherently not so good. Some would say evil. Some would say sinful. But we in truth know that to be not true. That is false. By faith, we are able to interpret grace, creating a way for righteousness to be achieved through the words and actions of our way shower. Believing that we inherit all that God is, grace becomes part and parcel of our nature. It is who we are, no more, no less than who and what Jesus was. Therefore, as grace is defined in the Old Testament, we are fully and totally what these words tell us. In Exodus 34:6, it says, and this is from Moses, the Lord, the compassionate and gracious God, slow to anger, abounding in love and faithfulness. That is the response that we can have when we know grace has been active in our life. And the very next verse, Exodus 34:7, God is forgiving of wickedness, rebellion. We are required to speak forgiveness. And Ezekiel 18:23, it is not pleasurable to see the wicked perish, preferring they turn from their ways and live. God's justice shows mercy and patience. Again, what we can speak because of grace. The God as us, in us. We don't want to see the wicked perish. No, we would want them to come into the understanding that we have come into, that we are living with, because as grace is fulfilled in us, so it is. They have the opportunity for grace to be filled in them and live and be slow to anger, abounding in love, faithfulness, forgiving, mercy, patience. This is who we are. This is what we are called to speak. Understanding ourselves to be grace, we are to be these characteristics when we are grace spiritually. So it is with me. Leave on time. For it is grace that is saving me. We can see the power of this commitment to live from grace within. We can never be too late or too early with anything. There are examples of grace within us if we are determined to cultivate our awareness of it and use it. For instance, be aware of your spiritual gifts. Be faithful in realizing what your gifts are in various forms. They are to serve one another. Peter 4:10 says each of you should use whatever gift you have received to serve others as faithful stewards of God's grace. As we are faithful, our gifts are revealed to us for the purpose of a particular work in the redemption of individuals and the collective whole. Redemption, what? Saved by grace. This is how Fillmore states it. He uses that word, redemption. To each of us is given the manifestation of the Spirit for the common good. We are familiar with the church volunteer, or in any group, but for us right now, the church volunteer who has served faithfully until it became obvious that the volunteer could not carry out her duties as she had for years. When the board asked her to step aside, the request was not received well. It just so happened that her home was next door to the church. When the new kitchen coordinator came to take over, the former coordinator was right there, interfering as much as she could. This illustrates the lack of understanding regarding the use of her spiritual gift for her spiritual community as well as herself. We are to use spiritual discernment to know what we are good at a given time. Grace is the gift that has the answer. The idea of full of grace is one that needs to be cultivated. As we cultivate any of the 12 powers, consciously, grace is the power and presence of God through faith, ready to manifest that power in its fullness. Are you ready? There can be some steps to take. Make it a practice to call forth an awareness of grace in prayer, in consciousness. Get more in touch with grace within you, how it feels, what it does, when you know it's active. Write down the times you were aware of being saved by grace. Write down how you will be appreciative, how you will say, thank you. Each of us has a particular work to do in the community of God's people according to our own receptivity. We must become aware. It is a joyous and wonderful experience. Take it from one who knows. Bless you, my friends. Hmm. Let us stay in this consciousness of grace and prayer. Let us think about the meaning of grace and give thanks in this Thanksgiving season that we can actually call forth grace and know it for ourselves and allow it to express through us in our own unique way. Take a moment to search. Search right now. Of those times when grace was most active. And your words of thank you uttered came forth from you. Think of those moments. Think of friends and family. Think of times gone by. When grace was the only reason for your safety. We are forever grateful for grace. Ever grateful to be able to lean into this dimension and characteristic that is within us, forever within us. We are never without it. We simply say, thank you. We say yes. We say amen as we move into our time of giving. We think of the gift that we would share with our community, ever grateful for the prosperity that flows through us and the presence of that prosperity as us. As we give, so we receive. As we give, so we receive. Our prayer that we share every Sunday is on the screen. Please join me after I have said it Join me as we repeat it. Divine love flowing through me blesses and increases all that I give and all that I receive. Shall we know it together? Divine love flowing through me blesses and increases all that I give and all that I receive. So be it.
Creator is the source of all strength, all joy, all love. He's been good. God has been good. She's been good. He's always good. God has smiled on me. James Cleveland. He's been good. He has set me free. God has smiled on me. He's been good to me. God has, come sing with me, smiled on me. He has set me free. God has smiled on me. He's been good to me. He's the source of all my joy. He fills me with His love. Everything that I need from the Lord, it comes from up above. God's been good. God's been good. God's been good. He's been the light to my path. He's been the dawn of my strength. He's been good. God's been good. He's been good to me.
Friends, it's time for the prayer of protection. And after that, we'll go straight into the peace song. And I look forward to seeing you at our fellowship after. The light
The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. There be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator. Family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternal.